The first thing that struck him was the silence, the kind that settles after a long day of forced smiles and clattering plates, when a place built for noise finally exhales. In the dim glow of the restaurant's emergency lights, an undercover CEO worth millions stopped cold when he noticed a small figure curled inside a vinyl booth, shoes tucked beneath her, head resting on folded arms, breathing slow and exhausted. In that moment, the carefully controlled world he had built through boardrooms and balance sheets cracked open, because the new waitress he barely knew was sleeping in the restaurant after her shift, and the reason why would change everything he thought he understood about success, struggle, and responsibility. Before the story goes any further, take a second to pause. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that one moment of compassion can rewrite a life, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel so more stories like this can be told. The restaurant sat just outside Columbus, Ohio, a mid-range family place with warm lighting and predictable menus, owned by a parent company run by Nathaniel Brooks, a man known in corporate circles for precision and discipline. Few knew that he routinely visited locations incognito, wearing worn jackets and blending in as a regional supervisor, because he believed numbers alone never told the whole story. That night, he had stayed late reviewing inventory logs and employee schedules, mentally noting inconsistencies and inefficiencies, when he noticed the young woman in the booth. Her name, from the schedule sheet, was Abigail Turner, newly hired, barely a month into the job, with more closing shifts than anyone else her age. She looked too small for the uniform, her hair pulled back hastily, her hands marked with faint scars that spoke of hard work done quietly and without complaint. Abigail's life had not unfolded gently. After her mother passed away unexpectedly in rural Kentucky, she had packed what she could into an aging sedan and driven north, chasing the promise of steady work and a chance to reset. Columbus had offered opportunity but no mercy, with rent prices that swallowed paychecks and nights that stretched longer than hope. She worked doubles whenever asked, smiled until her cheeks ached, and told herself she could endure anything if it meant not sleeping in her car again. When exhaustion finally overtook her that night, she had slipped into the booth after mopping floors, planning to rest her eyes for just a minute before driving, unaware that her body had chosen survival over intention. Nathaniel stood there longer than he meant to, the weight of the scene pressing against memories he rarely revisited. He remembered his own early years, the narrow apartment in Toledo, the nights his father came home defeated from factory layoffs, the constant fear of falling behind. Success had insulated him from that world, but it had not erased it. Seeing Abigail there, alone and vulnerable in a business he owned, forced him to confront the invisible gaps between policy and reality. He quietly asked the night manager to lock up without waking her, then left, carrying the image with him like a bruise he couldn't ignore. Over the following weeks, change began subtly, almost invisibly. Schedules were adjusted to spread closing shifts more evenly. A new employee assistance program appeared, offering emergency housing support and transportation stipends, framed as a pilot initiative. Nathaniel returned often, watching from corners, observing how Abigail moved through her days with cautious gratitude, how her shoulders slowly lifted as small pressures eased. She no longer disappeared between shifts, no longer looked at the clock with quiet panic. Her laughter, once rare, started to surface, light and surprised, as if she herself was startled by it. But the real transformation came when Nathaniel decided to step out from behind the mask. On a quiet afternoon, with sunlight pouring through the windows and the lunch rush fading, he revealed who he was and why he had been watching. There was no grand speech, no dramatic gesture, just an acknowledgement of hardship and an offer of stability, including help securing a modest apartment nearby and enrolling her in a management training program she never would have dared apply for on her own. For Abigail, the moment felt unreal, like a door opening in a wall she had been pushing against for years without knowing there was a handle. Months passed, and the restaurant changed in ways that couldn't be measured on spreadsheets. Turnover dropped. Morale rose. Stories surfaced of other employees quietly helped through crises, of dignity restored without spectacle. Abigail grew into her role with steady confidence, her once temporary job becoming a foundation. She volunteered to train new hires, watching for signs of struggle she recognized too well, determined that no one under her watch would have to sleep in a booth wondering if tomorrow would break them. As this story draws close, take a moment to think about how many lives are moving through your world unseen, carrying burdens heavier than they appear. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it, and engage with the channel so these moments of humanity continue to find light. Before the ending, we have one special request for you. Please comment below with your thoughts or share a moment when kindness changed your life, because your words might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. In the end, Nathaniel never forgot the night he found a waitress sleeping after work, not because it made him feel powerful, but because it reminded him of his responsibility. Abigail never forgot either, not because she was rescued, but because someone saw her worth before she fully believed in it herself. In a quiet restaurant in Ohio, long after the dishes were done and the lights dimmed, a simple act of awareness proved that compassion, when paired with action, could turn exhaustion into hope and survival into a future.